A note on Maggie Meriwether's rich experience. Funny, wonderful, lovely, excellent short tale to start an engagement with Jean Stafford, who has won the Pulitzer Prize for her collection of short stories. This is one. This is the first time I encounter, and I'm so thrilled because it was not just extraordinary an extraordinary literary achievement, but also fun all the way throughout, all the way to the end and throughout. Not all the way throughout. Sorry. So there are, of course, moments when one has to sympathize with the heroine, Maggie Meriwether, and not laugh at her or with her. But there you have it. So she is from Tennessee and she is in Europe and gets invited to a party. Her friend promises that it will be all right. They speak English, and here we have a strange, maybe, situation wherein she does understand French. She can speak, but for some reason she cannot even say merci. Forget about merci beaucoup. The cat got her tongue. In a way, I understand. I'm speaking in the parking lot of the Lycée Français, the French high school, and there is a love-hate relationship here. Yes, I like the fact that my daughter is studying here and it's a private school and I'm paying through the nose for my means, but and there is a standard which is much better than the alternative, except for, I don't know, schools which will cost 3 times as much. But there is an arrogance, there is a feeling that I understand visitors, foreigners have when they try and speak French. If they make mistakes, it's not good. Anyway, returning. So she's at this party in the splendid property of Baron, the Baron, who is a strange, funny character, ridiculous at times. He talks to the guest. I mean, this guest we're more concerned with, Maggie Meriwether, because there's so many others. In English at the start, but then he's disappointed because he's asking her, "Do you fly?" "Yes," she says. He appears to be interested, but then learns that all she means is flying in airplanes as a passenger. And he thought she means piloting a plane. When he understands that, says that then you'll not be able to fly here later on. He has the means, not probably, evidently. So throughout, alas, she is ignored by the others, including her friend who promised, what a traitor, to that the situation will be the opposite. I mean, people will talk to her in English. She's absolutely ignored, and she drinks a lot, and she does say something at one point. Women, after a meal with so many delicacies, I'm getting hungry. I may have to stop soon. I can't take it anymore. Truffles, salmon from the property, and whatnot. Eco-friendly, Le Baron, because he has so many things on his property and he's using them, with 1 or 2 exceptions brought from elsewhere. And coffee beans, I think she said, Maggie, if she wasn't having fun again. And his greatest pleasure is to groom the property, take care of it, and next to it is to show it. But one has to ask them, because there were 2, not comedians, but 2 who made a joke, one of them referred to the sheep which are used to keep the grass small in some areas of this large property. And I heard about that, and that sounds interesting. Again, echo, without electricity, using gas, whatever. And as the women get to after this meal to a place next to the biggest dining room Maggie Weather has ever seen, and then there will be so many more guests from the neighborhood, and attending the rest of the party. They talk about drugs, what they use to get high. And one says marijuana and another substance, and that's nirvana for her. Another one says vodka and something, some pills, I think it was. That's what she mentioned. And she says my maid has to take all the matches from near because um, she has this horrific fear of trying to light a cigarette and setting herself on fire. Finally, and this is where Maggie Meriwether, after many drinks, they had martinis, but she didn't like the quantity of vermouth they put in those drinks there. She finds a weird man with an obsession with orchids, but a negative obsession. He hates them. And with a penchant, his great pleasure would be to go and kill in Africa the king of the beasts. And I hate that. But, well, he's a prince, it turns out. Excellent, wonderful narrative.